Cone Man Running Productions presents A Cone Man Caper, Death on the Deep Blue Sea. It's really more of a bay, by Brian Maynard and Michael Williams. Attention seafarers, welcome aboard the cruise ship Barracuda. We'll be setting sail soon with many exciting ports of call on our itinerary. This is a special cruise since we'll be hosting the Bowers Bangor wedding on the Hammerhead deck. The guest list includes Summer. Hey, who needs a last name when you're named after a season? Summer is the bridesmaid, though only a couple of months ago she was almost the bride. And you'll never guess who the groom-to-never-be was. Henry Bowers, who just so happens to be the groom on this cruise. He took the rejection pretty hard, but isn't giving up that easy. Just don't tell his rebound fiancé. Bonnie Lee Bangor of the Georgia Bangors. She's supposedly Summer's best friend, but with a friend like this, who needs sea anemones? This is one Southern belle that you can't unring, at least not without losing a major organ. And since her family would never dare set foot on a cruise ship, this blushing bride will be given away by Alistair Crowley. He's creepy and he's kooky. He's altogether spooky. And he's a little low on cash, so this wedding had better pay off. Otherwise, there might be fireworks. And nobody knows that better than Allison Crowley, Alistair's not-so-little girl and Henry's stepsister from another mister. If you have a way of life, she'll hate it. And if you don't see eye to eye with her, just make sure you don't lose sight of her wedding date. Ernest. He's the best she could dig up on such short notice. Let's just hope he's not the brains of this operation, or else somebody might get buried at sea. But if they do, it's a good thing that we have a minister on board. Reverend Vance O'Bannon. He's the head of the Right Cross Teleministry. When he's not asking for a donation, he's tending to his flock, namely the ones in bikinis. Aren't we lucky that he was called to officiate at this wedding by his ex-employee, Rick Carlisle? You name it, and he's done it. Singer, dancer, infomercial husker, and snake oil salesman. Currently, he's the onboard entertainment for the Barracuda and the wedding singer at the Bowers Bangor wedding. Too bad a few of his sour notes have not been music to everybody's ears. Luckily, there's a couple of wedding crashers that just happen to be on board. Max and Magda Chastain are not only world-renowned detectives, but are also on their long-overdue honeymoon. It's a good thing that mystery loves company. Now that you know the players, it's time to get this show on the road or ship on the sea, whatever floats your boat. Bon voyage!
Well, don't we look lovely? That's your cue, Bunny. Alistair, offer her your arm. Okay, right, together, left, together. No. Listen, okay? Right, together. Just forget it, okay? Just walk, yeah. All right, here at the altar, let's see. Ooh, we have the maid of honor. And we got the groom. Oh, come on, smile, Henry. It's your wedding day. It's not a death sentence. All right, let's keep it moving, folks. I'm judging a bikini contest in a half an hour. And boy, some of those girls have amazing personalities. Alistair, smile. Your son is getting married. Oh, that's nightmare material. No, don't smile. Maybe a refined, stiff upper lip is better for you. And we are at the altar. Okay, I say a bunch of things about love and commitment, and you two say even shorter things about love and commitment. All right, now the rings. Are you sure about this, Bunny?
Absolutely.
All right, whatever, it's your day. Okay, let's see. The rings will fly down via dove to the maid of honor. That's you, Summer.
That's me.
Fantastic. Oh, what's the dove's cue?
Watch this.
And here he comes. Excuse me.
do you know it's a he?
He comes when he's called.
Okay.
Come on, Davis Dove the Third. Go to summer, just like we practiced.
Hey, here, I'll help. Come here, little birdie. Come on. Yes, right there on my shoulder. All right, there you go. Okay, just for the sake of time, we'll let him stay right there, okay? Now, let's see. We exchanged the rings. Why is he beeping?
It's called cooing.
What's wrong?
Well, why is it getting faster?
I'm sure it's nothing.
I'm not so sure how I feel about this.
I guess it was just Davis Dove the Third's time to go.
What the hell was that?
Unless they've got a cannon aboard this cruise ship, I'd say that was an explosion.
Not good in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, well, not good at all. In fact, I think we had better be on
If
the
you
ones.
say investigate or any word that sounds remotely like it, I will throw you overboard.
But Magda, it's part of our job description.
I'm not on the job right now. I'm on my honeymoon, a honeymoon that you have owed me for almost 11 years.
But you know as well as I do that a detective is always on the job, especially when there's a mystery afoot.
Well, I've got a foot that I'm about to put right up your ass.
Hey, give a minute.
Attention. Will passengers Maximilian and Magda Chastain please report to the Hammerhead deck immediately? We have a bit of a mystery that we need your help with.
Uh-oh. An explosion on a ship this size, plus a page for the only detectives on board, can only mean there's a murder on the deep blue sea.
It's really more of a bay.
Please state your name and occupation for the record.
Edward Alexander Crowley, but you can just call me Alistair. In a past life, I was an occultist, a ceremonial magician, poet, painter, novelist, potassium nitrate refiner, and a mountaineer.
A past life? Did you die or something?
Yes, but I got better.
Potassium nitrate. Doesn't that make things go boom?
Among other things. Next question.
All right. What was your relationship with the deceased?
Mr. O'Bannon? I hardly knew the man. We didn't exactly run in the same circles. My territory is a little more south of heaven.
Are you trying to be funny? Because I'm not in a laughing mood. Now, you said before that you were here for the wedding. Which side?
The grooms. Henry is my stepson from my 9th marriage.
9th? How many times have you been married?
Counting Allison's dear departed mother, 11.
You must have a lot of alimony payments.
Alas, all of my wives have passed to the great beyond. Fortunately, they were all insured. Unfortunately, the money never seems to last.
Is that right? Bad investments?
Yes, in the sense that the money goes faster than any horse ever could.
Ah, you like to play the ponies.
One of my favorite vices. Too bad my bookmaker doesn't feel the same way.
So I guess it doesn't hurt that your stepson is marrying into money.
I suppose, so long as he actually seals the deal this time.
Are you saying that he was engaged before? What happened?
Why don't you ask the bridesmaid?
Why? Was she a bridesmaid at his last wedding?
No, she was the bride.
Hiya, Mr. Cowlick.
The name is Crowley. Do I know you?
I almost married your stepson 2 months ago.
Ah, yes. Poor Henry was devastated. So, how have you been since you crushed the living spirit from my boy?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I love him, but only in a friend way. Well, you're not mad at me, are you?
Of course not, my dear. I haven't laughed so much at a disaster like that since the Titanic sank.
Oh, speaking of the Titanic, this sure is a nice cruise ship. And I love the name Barracuda.
How apropos. I do hope you aren't planning on ruining this wedding as well. That wouldn't be very wise.
Oh, don't worry. If there's one thing I've never been accused of, it's being wise.
Indeed. Though I have to question the wisdom of you being on board this boat at all.
Oh, but I'm the whole reason that any of us are here. Bunny and Henry would have never met if it wasn't for me. It only made sense for Henry to personally invite me.
Henry invited you.
That is more like it. He's so cute when he's on his knees. Oh, I couldn't resist. So are you here to give Bunny away during the ceremony because her parents refused to come?
Why, yes. I just hope that she's in a giving mood, too. Cruise ship tickets don't grow on trees, you know.
Oh, they don't? But I thought tickets were made out of paper and that paper came from trees and so then with the
How on earth did Henry let you slip away? Excuse me, dear. I need to take care of a few last-minute arrangements.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Crowbar.
Name and occupation.
I'm Summer.
That's great, darling. And occupation.
Oh no, I'm single at the moment. I'm occupied. Why, are you trying to set me up?
Are you aware this is an interrogation?
Not really. Well, how does that work?
Okay. Miss Chastain and I are investigative partners. We conduct a series of interviews relating to the death of Mr. O'Bannon, and then we debrief and prepare a second round of probing questions.
Oh, it sounds like you need some privacy.
What do you do for work, Summer?
Oh, I can't seem to even hold down a job. My latest job was as a lingerie sales girl, but then the members seemed a little bit more interested in me than the lingerie.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, you.
Tell us about the events of Mr. O'Bannon's passing from your perspective.
Oh, we were rehearsing for the wedding.
Okay, define we.
It's a pronoun used to indicate you and I.
What other people were at the rehearsal?
Oh, let's see. Vance, Henry, he's the groom. His fiancée, Bunny, Alistair, Allison, Vance, and Summer.
That's you.
Who?
What did you see?
Oh, Vance was leading us through the events of the wedding, and then a bird flew down and landed on his shoulder, and well, you know the rest.
We do. How did you know Vance?
I didn't really. Well, he just came into the lingerie shop every Thursday and asked for me. Well, he didn't just ask for me. He'd buy presents, and we wanted me to model the lingerie. He showed up at my door once. Such a creepy guy. Well, then what do you know? He's running the wedding, and he's knocking on my door last night.
I've learned that you were once engaged to Henry, the to-be groom.
That's right.
Oh, okay. What happened?
Well, it sounded like a good idea at first, but then I realized we were better as friends.
When did you realize that?
On the altar.
Well, was this ever a bone of contention between you and Bunny?
Of course. course. But they're getting married, so I thought that maybe it was over.
Maybe?
Well, I still have no idea how he snuck out last night and tried to get me to run away with him. Well, maybe you should ask him. He's kind of crazy in love with me.
Did you not think to volunteer this information earlier?
Well, you didn't ask.
The dove. It was supposed to land on you as part of the ceremony.
That's right.
Whose idea was that?
Oh, Bunny's. She thought it would be special. No, wait, what's the word? Incendiary.
Back to Henry for a moment. How did this attempted seduction go?
Oh, do you want me to play both parts?
Just go to the flashback, Summer.
Okay.
There you are.
There you are.
Right, now that we've established that, what are you doing out here?
Well, you passed me a note at dinner saying to meet you outside. Alone.
Yeah.
On the Newark deck. So here I am.
Here you are. Sure you're not too cold?
The sea air feels nice.
But if you stayed out here too long, I imagine you'd get cold.
Sure.
Cold, perfect skin that radiates under the moonlight's glow.
That's just my toner.
Cold hands I could hold in mine.
Oh, your hands are always clammy. Ew.
Cold feet.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should have worn boots. You want to finish this at the bar?
No. Out here is perfect. And you know what they say about cold feet, right?
Cold feet. Cold toes?
What else do you think of when you hear the words cold feet?
Eskimos. Popsicles?
No.
Sledding. A sea lion. Though they don't really have it. It's more like a flipper situation.
Summer! I have cold feet.
Well, duh. It's a bit chilly out here.
I have cold. It's an idiom meaning I don't know if I should go through with this marriage to Bunny because I'm still madly in love with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then why did you just say that instead of cold feet?
I honestly have no idea. What do you think about what I just said?
It's silly you're marrying Bunny. Oh, speaking of which, hi, Bunny.
Hide!
Oops. Wasn't her.
Run away with me.
We're on a boat.
That's true. But, I mean, when we get on dry land, run away with me.
But you're marrying Bunny.
I don't want to marry Bunny.
Then why are we here?
I have no idea. What do you say?
Well, she's my best friend.
But I love you. Do you love me?
I think you should really marry Bunny. I mean, you already have all those napkins and streamers and souvenirs with Bunny and Henry forever printed on them. And the 4 isn't exactly written up. It's literally the number 4. I don't think you could find another Bunny or Henry to peddle those to. You're right, yeah. It's starting to get chilly, huh? I'll see you tomorrow for the big day.
I won't take no for an answer.
What?
Nothing.
Name and occupation.
Henry Bowers, groom. To be.
That's not an occupation.
I work at a zoo.
A zookeeper.
I feed the animals and shovel their business.
Hmm. So why the cold feet?
Who said anything about cold feet?
Who do you think told us about cold feet?
I'd like my lawyer, please.
Oh, sure, kid. Tell him to hop on a helicopter and get here pronto.
We're not the police. We're private detectives. Perhaps you've heard of us.
I don't think so.
It's better you talk to us. We're professionals. Who do you think is going to exonerate you quicker? Us, who've solved over 500 cases to date.
Internationally.
Internationally. Or the power-hungry cruise ship security guards who are nothing more than glorified mall guards on the water.
Now, the cold feet.
I wanted to run, but it was too late.
Well, who knew about this?
Summer.
Could you have possibly told someone?
I don't think so. It took a solid 5 minutes to explain cold feet to her.
He's got a point.
Did your father ever...
Father.
I stand corrected. Did your stepfather approve of the union?
He agreed to attend, right?
Answer the question.
Yes, I think as much as a man like that can care about something.
And why do you think that is?
You'd have to ask him.
Where would you and Summer have gone? I mean, tell me if my deductions on telling your ex-fiance about cold feet are erroneous.
I didn't get that far in planning.
Did you want to get married at sea?
Not really, but Bunny had her heart set on it.
Why do you suppose that is?
Romance? I haven't a clue.
I do.
Does your stepsister approve of Bunny?
She's not really a people person.
Well, I have it here that she brought a date.
That's true, though he seems kind of off. You're late. They were about to move the gangplank and set sail without you.
I'd have been here sooner if you hadn't booked your wedding on the most obscure cruise line in the history of cruise lines. Call the Barracuda.
Hey, it could have been worse. We almost had to book the Kraken. Who in the hell is that?
This is my +1. Say hello, Ernest.
Hello. Seriously, this is what you call a wedding date? Same old alley cat. Never know who or what she's gonna dig up next.
Henry, I know we haven't seen each other much since we were kids, but I don't really care for that nickname anymore. You either call me Allison or call a doctor. It's your choice. Call. As for Ernest, I know he looks pretty rough around the edges and he has an odor that could make an onion cry, but he has his good points too. Don't you, sweetie?
Brains.
So who's the Mrs. to be this time? Call.
Bunny Lee Banger. She and Summer are best friends.
Bunny. Can I just call her Thumper? Call.
What is that? Why do you keep making that noise?
I'm calling for Poe.
Yeah, you brought your dumb pet crow to my wedding?
He's not a crow, he's a raven, and he's got more brains than that bubble-headed bimbo you almost married.
Hey, don't you call Summer that. She might hear you.
You invited the woman who left you at the altar to your destination wedding with her best friend. And people call me a masochist.
Actually, she's in the ceremony as a bridesmaid.
And this was Bunny's idea.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And no, yes, it was an idea. No, it wasn't Bunny's.
No brains. Got no brains.
I should have brought popcorn for this. Call. Oh, there you are, Poe. We almost left without you. Come on, Ernest. We better get inside before the sun gets much hotter. I'm starting to burn and you're starting to spoil. Don't interrogations usually consist of you asking us questions that we either answer or at least give vague answers to that make us look guilty as sin?
Well, the obvious question is, why aren't the two of you haunting a house right now?
Magda, maybe they have a condition or something.
Yes, it's called sociopathy.
Good to know. What about your friend here? Is he a people person?
Only when he's hungry.
Okay, let's just get this over with. Name and occupation.
Allison Crowley. I'm an anarchist. Oh, and I'm a cookbook author.
And you're related to Alistair and Henry, correct?
Yes. One by blood and the other by mistake.
And how about you, sir?
He doesn't really have a name, but I call him Ernest because he is the most genuine person I've ever met.
So did you have a chance to meet the deceased before his untimely demise?
Oh yes, Ernest and I met several years ago.
Actually, as she's referring to Vance O'Bannon, the minister at the wedding.
That one. No, I avoided him like the plague.
Why?
I don't trust televangelists.
That's right. He had one of those holier than thou TV shows, didn't he?
The kind where they're always asking for donations. From what I hear, he usually lost it all at the track.
Like your father.
Oh, so you've talked to Potter Mayes. Did he happen to tell you that he used to be in the explosives business?
In a roundabout way. But he seemed indifferent about O'Bannon.
Whatever. He doesn't like leeches any more than I do. You know, somebody did us all a favor.
Somebody that knows an awful lot about birds or bird calls.
If you're insinuating that I put explosives in that dove just because I have a well-trained raven that will kill on command, well, you're barking up the wrong tree, Fido. It looked to me like the bride, Miss Bunny Lee of Savannah, Georgia, had that dove wrapped around her debutante finger like she does Henry. Ugh. Besides, I would have sent Poe to peck his eyes out. Kind of an eye for an eye type of irony. Right, Poe? Poe, where did you go?
Oh,
Oh, I think I'm going to throw up.
Ernest, not again.
Bird brains.
Oh.
oh. How are you feeling?
Like I took a lot of Dramamine for nothing. Oh, I shouldn't have mixed it with all those Mai Tais. Oh.
It makes you feel any better. That Ernest guy looked way more seasick than you do.
Henry was right. There's something definitely off about him. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, he's got some serious homicidal tendencies, but he's no mastermind. He eats birds, doesn't rig them to explode. Girlfriend, though? There's a coven somewhere that's missing a witch.
And she seemed to have a healthy hate for O'Bannon. Oh, did you ever see any one of his telethons? He was always pulling some crazy shenanigans, trying to rake in more viewers and their hard-earned dollars. It kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
That this was just some elaborate publicity stunt and literally blew up in his face. Now that would be some poetic justice. But I think we should finish talking to the rest of the wedding party before we mark this down as death by misadventure.
Bunny.
Here comes the bride.
Now they must think that I am dumber than a box of nails. Look at them out there canoodling. I swear I should have seen this coming. Every dumb boy is like a fox in a hen house when it comes to summer. That little tart only has to bat her pretty little fake eyelashes and they fall at her feet. Sweet sassy molasses.
Man troubles?
Oh, my deepest apologies, ma'am. I was sitting here and venting my feelings out loud.
Perhaps the empty whiskey glass is to blame.
Well, you have yourself a fine evening, ma'am.
Apparently there's a big old wedding happening on this ship. You wouldn't happen to be a part of that, would you?
Guilty as charged. I'm Bunny, the bride-to-be. Well, that is if my soon-to-be in scalding hot water fiance and maid of honor stop with their flirting out there.
We're here on our anniversary. We could barely book a cabin with how full this boat was.
Congratulations! Where's your other half?
Oh, he's one of those early to bed, early to rise types, whereas I'm a little bit of a night owl. Funny how we got along this many years being so different.
What on earth is that dingbat waving at me? Is she flaunting that she's got him wrapped around her pretty little finger?
Oh, hide!
Ladies.
Allow me to introduce our preacher, Reverend Vance O'Bannon.
Man of the cloth and of the bourbon.
Well, see, I am consuming it so that there's less to influence my beautiful my beautiful flock. So, would either of you fine ladies happen to have a full dance card?
Oh, I'm booked solid.
2 left feet.
Oh, no, see, that's okay. I got 2 right ones. So, we should head back to my cabin and see what else we got in common.
Reverend, this kind lady here is on her anniversary. I'm sure the last thing she's thinking about is sex.
Oh, wise beyond your years, young lady.
Ooh, she looks young and impressionable. Ladies!
Now, I'm sure I shouldn't have a bad word to say about the clergy, but that man makes snakes shiver. I didn't even want him for the wedding, but Rick, well, that's him over there. He's our entertainment for the wedding. He insisted. Well, part of me thinks that dirty old Vance is here just so we can see Summer in her swimsuit. He's another one of her droopy admirers, has a snowball's chance in hell with her. Now, don't get me wrong. Summer is one of my dear friends. Some days I just wonder if it's a matter of keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oh, I won't take no for an answer.
What?
Nothing.
I'm practically chewing your ear off. Let me buy you a drink.
Small one, perhaps. I have to keep my wits about me.
Bartender, 2 more whiskeys. Well, I am so incredibly sorry and rude. What did you say your name was?
Magda Chastain. You might know me from my cover on Time Magazine's Woman of the Year. World-class detective with over 500 cases solved.
Internationally.
Internationally. And chief co-investigator into the death of Vance O'Bannon.
Oh, hell's bells.
Thanks for your tips, ladies and gentlemen, but keep them coming. And don't be afraid to drop a few bigger bills. I can't make change, but I'm pretty sure I deserve them. Don't forget to stop by the Cruise gift shop to get all of your daily curios, but also my latest self-help book, Repress Your Anger in the Healthiest Way Possible. Available only in hardcover. Autographs and personalized copies are available for an additional fee. Now this next tune...
Ladies, hey, who wants to dance? Huh?
Well, we have royalty in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Reverend Vance O'Bannon. Why, we go way back. Remember that, Vancey, calling me out during my 24-hour live telethon for supposed connections to offshore accounts of which I had zero responsibility? The telethon was a beauty. The Rick Carlisle Fund for improving and embettering the life of Rick Carlisle. Remember that, Vancey?
Yeah.
I do. I've been relegated to this cruise ship ever since. Where were we? How about a tune? This one's off of my new album, Eating Your Blues Away.
Oh, I won't take no for an answer.
What?
Nothing.
It's almost midnight. Why are there 10 boxes of Chinese takeout? Why am I on a stretcher? Is it my crippling case of the gout? There's one more crab ragoon. Please, Mr. EMS man, I won't see them again soon.
My dear, are you all right, my dear?
I think so. I don't know what came over me. As soon as I sat down, it was like my brain was trying to escape my head and shut down immediately.
Oh, not the first. That's the first time that's happened, is it, Rick?
Impossible. It's almost midnight.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go lie down.
Oh, what a coincidence. So am I.
Bartender, 2 more whiskeys. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so incredibly rude. What did you say your name was?
It's almost midnight and I'm taking it to the bridge because I'm feeling unwell. I repressed all that anger like the book says, and that Reverend Phony Vance O'Bannon can go straight to... Somebody please turn the sun down. I've got the mother of all hangovers.
But you said you'd be more relaxed and forthcoming if we did this out in the open.
All right. Ready when you are.
Name and occupation.
You're kidding, right?
Do I look like I'm in a laughing mood? We need you to say this information for the official record.
If you listen to my records, you'd already know. New from Rick Carlisle Records, 20 explosive hits from one dynamic artist, me. Order now and you'll receive some of my deep cut classics like Love Minus One, A Crying Shame, Once, Twice, 3 Times Divorce, maybe tomorrow in the follow-up, definitely today.
Mr. Carlisle.
Many, many more. Just send $39.99.
Mr. Carlisle, we're not here to promote your best of collection. Just please answer the question.
Fine. Rick Carlisle, Renaissance man.
Narrow that down for us, Slick. What is your current job?
I'm currently the headliner for the Portuguese Man of War Lounge. 3 shows nightly. And? Oh, right. I'm the wedding singer for the Bowers Banger Shindig.
Great. You are aware that a man died at this wedding rehearsal, right? A man that you had a previous working relationship with. A man that you yourself arranged to be the minister.
Aware? I'm very aware. Vance and I had a complicated relationship, but I certainly never wanted him to go out like that. With a bang! Maybe a whimper would have sufficed.
Oh, so you admit there was no love lost between the two of you?
That's all hearsay, and you know what that means. It's only true if you heard me say it.
I did. And so did a bar full of people. Well, we heard you sing it anyway.
Songs aren't admissible in a court of law. Besides, I'm surprised anyone heard me over that convulsing drama queen.
You don't think your singing voice made Summer have that fit?
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I'd have about $6.35.
So there are other reported cases, and you still think Summer was faking?
Or she was put up to it. She was thick as thieves with Vance. I remember it like it was just last night.
It was last night.
I was sitting at the piano in the Portuguese Man of War lounge, fighting off my overly enthusiastic fans.
You were begging for tips and hawking a self-serving self-help book to a bar full of drunks.
Honey, it's his flashback.
I was there, so technically it's our flashback.
Ahem. Anyway, in Prince's, none other than Vance O'Banion, no doubt jealous of all the attention I was getting. In fact, he said so himself. I'm jealous of all the attention you're getting. Ignoring his rude interruption, I gave him a warm greeting and went into a rousing rendition of my #1 smash hit, From the Bottom of My Heart, It's Lonely at the Top. Suddenly, out of nowhere, I was rudely interrupted a second time by Vance's partner in crime. I tried to carry on with the song, and I noticed a series of winks and nods and hand gestures going back and forth between that little sweetheart and Vance. And that's when she went into her Tony Award-winning performance. Then Vance said, "Are you all right, dear?" as if I didn't already know. And the sweetheart replied, "I don't know what came over me. As soon as I sat down, my brain escaped my head and shut down as quickly as possible." And then she pointed to me and yelled, "All because of that impossibly handsome man in his angelic voice of 24 karat gold."
How much more of this bullshit do I have to listen to?
Oh, stay gold, pony boy.
And then Vance made some completely unsubstantiated claim about there being hundreds of other cases of it happening to me before, to which the sweetheart said, "Excuse me, I've been lying the whole time," and she ran from the bar. And then Vance said, "What a coincidence, so have I." And then he followed her to some tawdry rendezvous. Then I finished out my set and called it a night. And that's the truth, the whole truth, or nothing but the truth. Or my name isn't Rick Carlisle. Superstar.
I thought Rick Carlisle was just your stage name.
Oh, right.
Attention. Will the passenger named Summer please report to the captain's private dining room? We still have a bit of mystery on our hands, and you're late for the grilling. Thank you.
Oh, good. You didn't start without me.
Start what?
Oh, the barbecue. Oh, the speaker guy said that we were grilling.
He meant they want to grill us some more about the murder.
Of the Reverend guy?
Do you know of another murder on this boat?
Excuse me? Why did you just lock that door?
All these one-on-one interrogations are getting us nowhere, and I intend to wrap this case up so that I can still salvage what's left of my ever-loving honeymoon.
But you didn't answer her question?
Henry, we've talked about this.
Sorry, Bun Bun.
Better. Now, Miss Chastain, you didn't answer my question. Why did you lock that door?
I need to shake things up and take you all out of your comfort zone. So I'm turning this into a locked room mystery.
Honey, it doesn't work that way, especially since this murder wasn't committed in a locked room. It's, at best, this would be a closed circle mystery, since we have a closed circle of suspects.
Semantics.
Ah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this straight once and for all. Now, the captain has informed us that we will arrive at our next port of call in less than an hour, and the authorities will be waiting to take the guilty party. Well, that is somebody, or some bodies in this room. Now, you've all been forthcoming to various degrees, but we can verify firsthand that some of your recollection of events is not accurate at all.
Disgusting! Which one of you tried to pull a fast one on our friendly detectives here?
I'm not naming any names, but his initials are Rick Carlisle.
All of you, well, with the possible exception of Bunny, had a pretty good motive for wanting O'Bannon dead. Alistair, you had a deep theological difference with the man.
Custos fratus me sum, Latin for, am I my brother's keeper?
Isn't that what Cain said right after he killed Abel?
I haven't the foggiest idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Summer, we all know that you had no love for O'Bannon because he was really a wolf in sheep's clothing that wouldn't stop scratching at your door.
Wow. All that fur and wool must have been really hot.
Which dovetails, oh, no pun intended, into Henry's motive. You couldn't stand to see another man lusting after the woman you were so desperately in love with.
What? You're talking crazy. Reverend O'Bannon wasn't after my bun.
No, he wasn't. But I'm not exactly the one you've been carrying an Olympic-sized torch for, am I? I swear, you, O'Bannon, and every other man on this boat are all alike. One-track minds that get derailed the second any old summer wind blows your way.
I always thought of men like puppy dogs. If you want them to come, all you have to do is put your lips together and blow.
And that brings us to the gruesome twosome. Ernest, or whatever your name is, I don't think you really cared one way or the other about Reverend O'Bannon. But your girlfriend, on the other hand, has already admitted that she thought he was better off dead.
Sic semper hypocritus. That's Latin for, as always, to hypocrites. Or, simply put, death to hypocrites.
That's my girl.
And finally, Mr. Rick Carlisle, you probably had more reasons than anyone to want your old boss dead. Maybe that's the reason you invited a man who humiliated you on live television to come and officiate at a wedding that you had booked at the only place you could get a job after that humiliation.
Would you care to refute any of that with another badly narrated flashback?
Can I have my phone call now?
Oh, that's after you get arrested.
How about a drink then? Anybody else need another drink?
Fine by me. I need to consult with my partner in private anyway. Well, it worked. They're all sweating now.
I know, but something doesn't feel right. They all have decent enough motive for wanting O'Bannon dead, but one thing is still bugging me.
The fact that the dove wasn't supposed to land on O'Bannon in the first place?
Exactly. Now, Bunny told us that she trained that bird to land on Summer's hand, which she usually did, except that one day.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
That maybe O'Bannon wasn't the intended target?
No. Why is there a beeping dove in this room?
Oh.
No.
Duck!
Ah. Whew. Well, now it's personal.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Ugh.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yep. It is time to bring in the big guns. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all of you people who've been sitting there in your own homes watching this, commenting during the whole show, this is your time. We need your help. We need you, since you've sat there and seen all the interrogations, watched all the flashbacks. You probably saw something we missed. What are the questions you have? What do you want to know? We're going to bring all the suspects back in, and now it's a field day. You type in the questions that you have into the chat, and we'll ask them of the suspects. All right? So here we go. Bunny Lee Banger, why did you want to get married at sea?
I've always loved the ocean. It's just so peaceful and beautiful, and it's difficult for people who can't swim to get away easily.
Is there
Henry?
someone specific you have in mind that can't swim?
Yeah.
I'm not much of a swimmer, but I am a terrific sinker.
That's true.
All right.
Okay.
What
Great.
is Summer allergic to? Summer, do you have allergies?
I have 20.
Okay. Would you mind giving us some?
Numbers, letters, thinking, toes, they itch a lot, etc.
Henry, how many times have you been engaged?
Me?
Yes, Henry. How many times have you been engaged?
Oh, so of course there's Bunny now, you know, and before that was a Summer.
That's me.
Oh, you. and before that was a nice young lady named Winter.
We don't talk about her.
No, and for everyone's sake, let's hope that Winter is not coming to this wedding.
Great. Thank you. Bunny, question. It's a bit of a personal choice question, but what proper Southern woman would prefer whiskey over bourbon?
That's a great question. Well, you see, the whiskey was bought for me by a nice gentleman at the bar, so I decided to go ahead and drink that one. I've just always really liked whiskey.
They want to know who trained the dove.
Oh, Henry, help me with that one.
Yeah. You know, because I work at the zoo, so I have access to birds.
Lots of birds.
Rick
Not a-
Carlisle.
Primarily birds.
Really, only birds.
Rick, what's your real name?
Next question.
That's
Right.
a weird name.
Alistair, you said that this is your ninth life or whatever. Which one is your favorite?
My ninth life. Huh.
Or marriage or whatever.
You are so amusing, Maximilian.
Bunny, did you know Henry was leaving you for Summer?
I knew he might try.
Hmm.
Don't
Right.
worry, I said no.
I know, baby. Thank you so much.
Great. Ernest, do you ever remove that helmet?
During showers and romance.
Summer, are you okay that your best friend is getting married to your ex?
She gets sloppy seconds. It's okay because she's my best friend. She gets my hand-me-downs.
Best
Because that's what Henry is. Hand-me-downs.
Thanks for reminding me. Every day.
Allison, have you ever trained birds other than your pet raven?
Absolutely. I have my master's degree in bird training. I'm an ornithology master. I'm something of a bird whisperer.
Isn't that what Henry does?
Well, I'm an ornithologist, which is why I work with the birds, but due to some complications in my job, I primarily focus on the excrement.
He's not as good as I am.
Hey, it's a crappy job, but someone's got to do it.
I didn't say just in your job.
She's right.
Hey, Alistair, what are your views on human sacrifice?
Often.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Walked right into that one.
Ah, yes. Rick Carlisle, hot off the presses, could you tell us the name of your first chart-topping single?
Love Minus One. It's the only one that made it to the top 10.
How did that go exactly?
Pretty well, thanks.
Bunny, they want to know A, if you're a real blonde, or B, is your accent real or exaggerated?
That's just ridiculous. I don't ever lie. All of it's the truth. Fake. Love you too, darling.
I was waiting for the wedding night to find out myself.
Rose.
Oh, gosh.
Ernest, when's the last?
Drapes.
Don't want to think about my brother having sex. Please stop.
I do.
You're not as good as I am.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
also true.
Wait,
They're both about
what?
the same. They're both.
These suspects, I just...
Ernest, when's the last time you ate? Have you been feeling a little peckish recently?
I mean, I just had that chicken
Crow.
and also had a meatball sub, and then ate an old VHS tape from the entertainment part of this cruise ship.
Killing. Great diet.
Citizen Kane.
That's a classic.
Bud.
Gosh.
Henry, they really want to know if you've ever worked with ostriches at the zoo.
Yeah, I mean, them and the albatross, create the largest piles of excrement. And whoo, come Thursday, I am neck deep in it. Believe me.
Henry, do you want to tell them what your favorite part of the ostriches is?
Well, they have a rather impressive peen.
What?
Yeah. It's sort of remarkable.
Giant pink arm, isn't it?
It's like a Inspector Gadget, go gadget peen. Boo.
My stepbrother is disgusting.
It's science.
I think all of you are disgusting.
It's pretty bad. Well, Jason Navsard says, I was there the night before, and says, Max, please ask your wife. Ask the wife what? What do you want to know? I didn't see anybody get killed. I wasn't at the rehearsal.
My wife is innocent. She did nothing.
Max and I have alibis, so it's not us.
Oh.
Do I
We
have
don't
a
have
history
any-
with the
We
Reverend?
don't have any history with any of the suspects or
I
the
have-
deceased.
I've never met the Reverend before. I've only seen him on television. The first time I met him was the night before when Miss Banger introduced me to him at the bar. So,
That's also true.
yes.
Rick Carlisle, we all know that you were hoping for repayment or revenge, but any chance you found love while in the Portuguese Man of War Lounge?
That's not what I was there for. I just wanted paybacks in 10s and 20s.
Ah.
How did Bunny train the bird to specifically land on Summer?
Oh, lots and lots of practice. So Henry helped us. I think he got a few pointers from Allison. And then I practiced my call. And then Summer and I would go to the zoo and we practiced with Davis Dove III. He was so sweet.
Used my arm.
Yes, she got so much bird shit on there.
So apparently the audience thinks that there are sparks between Henry and Allison. Are y'all interested in each other?
No.
I'm interested in seeing him dead.
I'm pretty sure she already is dead.
Sometimes.
That's anarchy for you.
Mhm.
Alistair, potassium nitrate or TNT, which is your favorite?
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
I walked right into that.
Yeah, you did, honey. Bunny, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry does Summer make you?
She doesn't make me angry at all. She's my best friend. We just love each other to pieces.
Mhm.
All right. So, Henry, you were left at the altar before. How did you cope with that so quickly?
Well, I mean, it wasn't quick at first. You know, I barricaded myself in my shrine to Beverly Hills 90210. And so I just watched that endlessly while eating uncooked Eggo waffles to sort of go through the grieving process. But eventually I found that to be mildly unhealthy. So I started to write poetry, and that fixed everything. Everything.
Tried.
Great.
It was gross.
Well, I'm sure you have everyone's attention here. Do you have any of those poems that you wrote while you were in that shrine phase?
Sure, yeah. Thanks for asking. I'm really proud of it. I'm hoping to get a chapbook. So far, no takers, but maybe this will be the start. Roses are red. Violets will bloom. When I found love was dead, then I prepared for my heart, soul, and everything to go kaboom.
That's a poem?
No.
Mhm. Alistair, who do you think killed the Reverend?
Well, isn't that what you're here for? If I'm going to do your job, then you would have to do my job. And I don't think you want to do my job.
Which job would that be exactly?
All of them.
Right.
Ernest, who do you think did it?
The person who murdered Vance is alive.
Are you saying that one of the suspects isn't?
Me.
Another one I walked right into.
Yeah, you did. Totally. Totally. Henry, they want to know if they can buy your poetry collection on Amazon.
I will work on getting it published. So
Money
far,
for that, honey. I'll help you with that one.
great, because typing is hard. I'm a Hutton Pecker.
True.
I said Pecker. Sorry.
It's all right.
Allison, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Summer? Would you kill her?
Absolutely.
If you did that, can I eat her brains?
Yes.
I don't think you'd get very full, honey.
That's okay. We can use her as an appetizer. There's plenty of other meat on the ship.
Hey, I am a main course, okay? I know my value.
No, you're like a jalapeno popper.
Summer, you're a little snack.
She's a
And
snack.
a whole meal too.
Oh gosh, this is painful.
She's a dessert.
We're going
Love to cover her and whip. Hey, buddy.
Gross.
So Summer, why did you go into fits when you heard Rick sing?
Didn't you hear? It was like my brain was just trying to get out, and it was going, and it was moving, and it was trying to get out, and it was for hurting so bad. Singing.
Was Alistair married to anyone on the boat in the past?
I certainly hope not. Not for their sake.
I feel like I'm going to regret asking this, but
Oh gosh, please don't.
Nicole wants to know, Alistair, kill, marry, or screw between Bunny, Summer, and the Reverend.
Oh gosh.
All three. Not necessarily in that order.
Why limit yourself?
I'm intrigued.
We're at sea. You've got to cast the net wide.
Oh. Yeah, Henry, they want you to take your shirt off, but let's just not. Let's not. Don't take it the wrong way.
I'm not gonna let that happen right now. Thank you very much.
Let's just not. You
Got a bit of a farmer tan. I got to be honest.
You know, I feel like we've kind of come to the end.
I just don't know what else we could possibly ask at this point in time.
Yeah,
that would help
Are we
us.
all taking our shirts off? I missed where that.
No, you know, Bunny, why did you want Henry's ex at the wedding? That's a good question. Why did you want Summer?
She's my best friend.
Ooh.
You know, if you say it often enough, it might come true.
That's what I hear.
Allison, tell us about your cookbook. You're a cookbook author.
Yes. I specialize in exotic meats. Often you have to go to remote locations and hunt the most dangerous game. The one that really puts up a fight is the tastiest. The stress hormones really make the flesh soft. You want to make sure not to overcook it, though. You want to have it as rare as possible to really absorb its life essence. I'm speaking about eating humans.
Well, you know what? I think that, honey, I think that's where we need to end it.
You know what, honey? I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, oh, although there, Ernest, whose brain have you most wanted to eat? That's a good one.
Rick Carlisle's brains. It's the singers that really bring the flavor. Brains, Rick Carlisle. The singy brains.
Okay. Yep. Oh, although this question came in twice, so I feel like we have to ask it. Allison, how many knives did you bring with you?
666.
Why so many?
I have 666 of everything. I aspire to dark perfection.
You should see her toy room.
All used.
I really feel like that's where we need to end it. Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. And if you could please take a moment to tell us who you think did it by just literally typing in the character name into the chat of who you think was the murderer of Vance O'Bannon. And we'll be right back with you in just a second. All right, everyone. My goodness. Well, having consulted with our dear colleagues and in consideration of our collected evidence, we are ready to name the murder of Vance O'Bannon. It may come to you as a surprise,
but not to us.
Of course not. The murder is Henry Bowers.
That is a lie.
Manners, Henry. Rude to interrupt. As soon as you allow us to present our findings, you may defend yourself in turn. Is that equitable?
I suppose.
Henry Bowers, soon to be engaged to Bunny Banker, previously engaged to Summer.
Quite right, dear. Henry, darling, in motive alone, you're what we like to call a gimme. My discussions with Miss Bunny the night prior to the murder displayed a reticence on her part towards the marriage, which we can only deduce was reciprocated by your ongoing attempts to woo Summer on the Newark deck on that very night.
You can't prove that.
Alas, Magda was sitting unrecognized at the bar with your, I presume, previous fiance. She witnessed the two of you alone and Summer leave alone.
It could have been polite conversation.
If only you hadn't underestimated the volume of your voice as you vowed, I won't take no for an answer.
That hardly seems like a component of polite conversation, does it, Henry?
I was upset.
Why?
I think it's because he's still in love with me, and asked me to run away with him.
Oh, Henry.
It would be simple enough to have you brought in on these suspicions alone, yet you remained on the deck and saw the late Vance O'Bannon attempt to console Summer.
He's always hitting on her. Non-stop it. But that doesn't mean I killed him.
Well, in your previous interrogation, you mentioned you worked as a zookeeper.
Yes.
You neglected to share that your primary area of expertise was the aviary wing and family columbidae.
No! Pigeons and doves?
In particular, the care, oversight, and training of, well, she spoiled the reveal.
Doves, Henry, you didn't.
We deduced that he secretly trained the dove to land upon Vance, eliminating a threat to his courtship with Summer, with a secondary plan of collaterally wiping out Summer in the event she would never take you back.
We found trace elements of bird seeds in both of their pockets.
I mean, Bunny and I, say something, Bunny. The dove, you'll never catch me alive. Ah!
That's not a confession of guilt, then I don't know what is.
Mystery unraveled. Well, have you heard enough?
I think so. How do you want to do this?
Oh, classic denouement fashion. A long-winded explanation about how the perp almost committed the perfect crime. And, well,
Unfortunately, two world-class detectives with over 500 cases solved.
Internationally,
just happens to be on board and on the case.
Does that mean you figured out who wanted poor Vance dead enough to kill him with an exploding dove?
we figured it out. But Vance O'Bannon was killed by mistake, not premeditated homicide. The actual intended victim was none other than Summer.
But I swear I didn't do it. I would never have used Davis stuff the third to hurt another human being or hurt another human being using Davis stuff. Either way, I'm innocent.
Summer dear, we're not accusing you. We're explaining that murder meant to kill you, not O'Bannon.
Oh, good. Wait. Oh, I mean, oh bad. Who on earth would want to hurt little old me?
Well, believe it or not, it was man that Ripley called the wickedest man in the world.
Rick Carlisle.
I've been called worse.
No, he's talking about my dad.
Dad? Is that true?
Stepdad, Henry. And I have no idea what any of you are talking about. Well, Thank you, Ernest. Finally, someone around here is talking sense.
Come to think of it, you did seem pretty mad at me before rehearsal. Like you were worried that I would stop the wedding or something.
But why would you care if that happened? And you laughed your ass off the last time I got jilted at the altar.
Good times. Hey, it's the whole reason I came. I love it when his story repeats itself.
Y'all are all just creepy as get out, especially how Mr. Crowley kept licking his lips and repeating that gibberish as he walked me down the aisle. What was it again? Oh, yeah. Et in pecunia sumas? Et in pecunia. It gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
Sounds like more Latin to me.
It is. Dad likes it because it's a dead language that no one uses anymore. And I like it because I like talking to the dead.
Thank you.
In fact, Dad's the one who taught it to me. I can translate it if you like.
Oh, please do.
Et tu, Allison?
I told you I'd stab you in the back one day, old man. I just didn't say how. Et in pecunia sumas means we're in the money.
So, I was a little excited that my investment in Henry was about to yield a dividend. But you can't seriously believe that a little Latin here and there is grounds to brand me a murderer.
No, it isn't. But if you were worried that your cash cow was about to be turned into hamburger, maybe. But who here would have had the expertise to rig a dove to explode?
Maybe someone who had dabbled in gunpowder manufacturing in a past life.
And it's a well-known fact that potassium nitrate is a primary ingredient in the production of gunpowder. Isn't that right, Mr. Crowley?
Potassium nitrate? Are you talking about saltpeter?
What's saltpeter?
It's used to preserve meat, make toothpaste,
and kill the male libido, right, Henry?
But in this case, it just killed a male victim instead of the female victim who was probably going to keep Edward Alexander Crowley from, aka Aleister Crowley, aka $250,000 in debt with every horse track from here to Timbuktu from getting his grubby hands on Bunny Lee's money. Now, am I right or am I right?
Magnificent. I've matched wits with the likes of Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot, but I must admit that I've enjoyed my little cat and mouse game with Maximilian and Magna Chastain most of all.
Save it for the cops, Crowley.
I wish I could, but I'm afraid that that plan is about to go up in smoke. Poof!
He's gone!
Where the devil did he go?
Did he explode too?
Infernal combustion.
Look under the nearest table. He used to pull this trick all the time when we were kids.
Guilty as charged.
In more ways than one. Come on, Crowley. Let's get you to the ship's brig.
Well, that wraps this case up. Oh, and Bunny, a bit of advice. If you guys try to tie the knot again, don't do it on a boat. Cruises can be murder on a honeymoon.
Well. Have you heard enough?
I think so. So how do you want to do this?
Oh, classic denouement fashion. A long-winded explanation about how the perp almost committed the perfect crime, and then maybe...
Unfortunately, 2 world-class detectives with over 500 cases solved.
Internationally.
Just happen to be on board and on the case.
Does this mean you figured out who wanted poor Vance dead badly enough to kill him with an exploding dove?
No, we figured it out, but Vance O'Bannon was killed additionally, not exclusively. The other intended victim was none other than Summer.
Me? But I swear I didn't do it. I would never use Davis up to hurt another human being or hurt another human being use Davis to death, well, either way, I'm innocent.
Summer, dear, we are not accusing you. We are explaining that the murderer meant to kill you and Vance O'Bannon.
Oh, good. Wait. Oh, bad. Who would want to hurt little old me?
Well, believe it or not all birds that flock together are always of the same feather. For instance, we should have only found white feathers at the scene of the crime. So, how do we explain this?
Did it get singed or something?
You know, a good dye job will take care of that. Or so I've heard.
That's a raven's feather, like Allison's pet, Poe.
Nevermore.
Bird brains.
Let's just cut to the chase. The detectives are about to accuse me of killing O'Bannon and attempting to kill Summer Lovin over there, right?
Oh, let's not forget that you tried
And failed
to kill us too.
You don't have a shred of evidence other than that feather, which is circumstantial at best.
Should we ask your father if he ever showed you the explosive potential of potassium nitrate?
All of my children know how to make explosives. The 4th of July was always such a blast.
It's true. I knew how to make M80s before I could make up my mind.
At 2, old man? I always knew that he'd stab me in the back one day. I just didn't know how.
But Alley Cat, speaking Latin and making things go boom is what made you my favorite.
And I'm sure that when we get the fingerprint analysis back, we'll see that the prints on the dove feathers perfectly matches the prints on the raven feather.
You want a confession? Fine. I did it, and I'll do it again.
Oh, thanks for that, Allison. Too bad these feathers are so circumstantial. You see, you can't pull a latent fingerprint off a textured surface like a feather.
Gotcha.
Maybe, maybe not. I said I will do it again, not I would. You really have to pay attention to the tense of the threat.
Semantics.
But you'll die too, and I don't know about you, but I'm too young and pretty to die.
That's okay. We Crowleys have a knack for coming back.
When you least expect us.
But why would you want me dead? What did I ever do to you?
You were born. If there's one thing I hate more than hypocrites, it's perky. And you're so perky that it makes me want to puke.
Don't I know it? Henry, you never told me your stepsister was so damn smart.
How does your wedding fit into all of this?
He's only my unwitting accomplice. I needed him along to eat anyone who got in the way. So far, he's only eaten Poe and the ship's purser.
So he's just the muscle and you're what? The mastermind?
Damned right I'm the mastermind.
Mastermind.
Oh, shit. Ernest, I thought you liked me for my body.
Oh, looks like Allison went out with a bang.
Yeah, I guess you found out that a bird in hand isn't always better than 2 in the bush.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the true identity of Vance O'Bannon's killer might shock you, but to us seasoned investigators, the facts presented themselves as easy as cherry pie.
I hope you're not insinuating what I think you could be insinuating.
How about the fact that Henry didn't want to get married at sea? Why did you? Easier for certain someone to slip overboard into shark-infested waters?
Oh, my bet was on a Titanic reenactment.
Oh, we're supposed to do that tomorrow. It's my favorite.
Hush, Summer.
Was it not your very own idea that the dove would fly down to Summer carrying the ring?
It was. That doesn't mean there wasn't a fair share of monkey business all around.
What the bar you insinuated that Vance made snakes shiver. And on the matter of Summer,
That's me.
keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Bunny, in what category do you see Summer fit best?
Oh, this is nonsense. She's my best friend.
He also said your eyelashes were fake.
No faker than her tan or her southern accent she pours on when she wants to feel socially superior or her pushed up to the sky tits.
Why, I never. Those are fighting words, girl. I will end you like I wanted to the.
She's had an emotional week, haven't you, Bunny?
Impossibly.
Benny! Oh, Bunny! See what you've done with your slander and lies? Oh, you poor girl. Let's get her back to the suite for some rest.
She's not going anywhere.
No.
It's a miracle!
Now, while Magda and I are true experts in the general field of investigation, sometimes we encounter a case which is a bit more of a rarity. Now, when that happens, we call upon our esteemed colleagues to delve into their genius expertise. As it were, that's what we had to do for this very case.
Lady Olivia Cornwallis.
The bird expert. Oh, she's fantastic.
What? How?
Never
How?
mind. Here, yes. Lady Olivia is a dear old friend who specializes in bird calls. That was your bird call, Bunny?
Hardly. I just whistled.
Oh, could you do it again?
Impossible.
We thought this might happen. It's no coincidence that the late Vance O'Bannon was recording the rehearsal, shall we say, for posterity, and not at all for nefarious purposes. And upon his passing, we came into this recording as evidence.
That's you whistling, Bunny.
I suppose so. But that proves nothing.
Oh, well, Lady Olivia was so kind to translate a seemingly innocent bird call and dive down into the true meaning of the tone.
With Henry's assistance, you trained the bird, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, poor Henry might not be aware that the command being issued in those lovely tones is spare no one, bird seed to follow.
Impossible.
Presuming that Vance would position himself as closely as possible to Summer for nefarious purposes, you made it your purpose to get both in the same shot.
Oh, say it's not true.
Well, I'm sorry, Henry. You were in love with Summer.
I still am, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I figured if I only got Vance, the wedding would be canceled and we'd have time to salvage the marriage.
Well, that's likely impossible with your new impending cellmates. Please take her away.
Wait for me.
He won't. You all may return to your quarters. Our investigation is complete.
You might say she was trying to get away with 2 stones with 1 bird.
That'll do.
Oh, maybe she was hoping for some collateral damage.
Ugh, is it happy hour yet? Ugh.
Well, have you heard enough?
I think so. How do you want to do this?
Classic denouement fashion. A long-winded explanation about how the perp almost committed the perfect crime.
Unfortunately, 2 world-class detectives with over 500 cases solved.
Internationally.
Internationally, just happened to be on board and on the case.
Does this mean you figured out who wanted poor Vance dead badly enough to kill him with an exploding dove?
Oh, it's funny that you should ask. The way we figure it, Vance O'Bannon wasn't killed premeditatively, but prematurely. The intended victim was none other than Summer.
Me? But I swear I didn't do it. I would have never used David stuff to hurt another human being or hurt another human being using David stuffs. Either way, I'm innocent.
Summer, dear, we're not accusing you. We're explaining that a very incompetent killer who knew nothing about birds or explosives tried to kill you and ended up killing O'Bannon instead.
Oh, good. Wait, oh, bad. Oh, bad. Who on earth would want to hurt little old me?
Oh, believe it or not, it was someone whose bad memory and even worse singing gave us all the clues that we needed.
Rick Carlisle.
It couldn't be. My singing sounds like a symphony, and my memory is as good as don't tell me those big things with the funny snout like an ostrich beak.
It's an elephant, you pervy, lame lounge lizard.
O'Bannon, I get, but why would Rick want to kill my darling friend, whose name happens to be Summer, my friend?
Good save, sweetie pie. I don't think Bunny noticed that little Freudian slip at all.
Oh, good. I was afraid. Ah, shit.
Yep.
Come to think of it, you did seem pretty mad at me when I had that fit at the Portuguese Man of War Lounge and at the soundtrack for rehearsal and when I heard you singing in the shower.
You're a little faker. You know that?
We all know that. Wait, you said faker, didn't you? Never mind.
Faker.
Hold on just a damn minute. How could Rick have used my dove to try and kill Summer? I'm the one who trained it.
Huh? Should we accuse you instead?
On second thought, you may be onto something. He does have awfully shifty eyes.
This is absolutely ridiculous. If Vance were here right now, he would vouch for me. In fact, he would probably say, Rick Carlisle is 110% innocent of my death. In fact, if anyone is to blame for my untimely demise, it's me. I did that sweet, sweet man wrong, and I will eternally regret it as I roast in a blazing pit of hellfire.
My kind of place.
Ahem. As I was saying, Vance O'Bannon would say and did things that I will never be able to take back. But putting that sweet tart up to messing with Rick's livelihood will be the one thing that I regret most of all. Please forgive me.
I wasn't pointing to anything, Mr. Carlisle. I really do have a weird convulsion whenever you sing. I'm not making it up, I swear.
Don't worry, Summer. We believe you. According to Rick himself, this has happened 127 times before.
The last time was during the live telethon that Rick was hosting. Half of the phone operators fell to the floor in the middle of the 11th hour donation push.
You know, certain pitches of the human voice can affect the brains of birds like that. It makes them lose a sense of direction.
And maybe fly to the wrong person?
You can't prove any of this.
Oh, you knew good and well that dove was supposed to land on Summer, so you rigged it poorly to explode when it landed on her. Unfortunately, your pre-rehearsal warm-up messed up the bird's sense of direction so bad that it landed on the most convenient place.
Which just happened to be Vance O'Bannon.
Which turned out to be a happy accident after all, since you planned all along to kill him with a backup dove that Bunny had on board as a just in case.
But you ended up sicking it on us after we confronted you earlier. Too bad you didn't know that I am a world champion listener.
Not that he ever listens to me, but yeah, he does have excellent hearing.
Then hear this. I'm not going down without a fight. I have one more lethal weapon left at my disposal. Well, lethal to Summer, that is. Ah, sweet mystery of life, at last I found thee. I know at last the secret. Oh.
Will somebody shut him up?
Oh, God. Are you all right, Summer?
I think so. I'm just a little woozy.
Well, you don't have to worry about that happening again.
Right. The only place we'll be singing anymore is in a not-so-gilded cage called Sing Sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm exhausted. This has been one of the hardest cases to crack of all time.
Not exaggerating. We've seen our share of baddies all over the world.
Oh, the Liverpool libeler. Oh.
The Saskatoon stabber.
Oh, we even got our cuffs on the Tamika Tumbler. Oh, I know. They kept saying they'd come up with a better moniker, but they never did.
Not until this very case have we used the word criminal mastermind lightly. But yet, here we are.
Yeah. So tell us, how did you do it, Summer?
Do what?
We think you know very well what we're accusing you of.
If you know, then why are you asking me?
Well,
Nothing adds up. She didn't train the bird. The bird was intended to land on her shoulder. She had motive to kill Vance for all his constant harassment.
and yet she sidestepped all of our interrogation techniques. No evidence links her to the crime, but I have this hunch in the back of my mind that I just can't shake.
As do I. The man connived his way onto this cruise ship just so he can get more chances to woo her, and he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Well, have you thought that maybe he did it himself?
Oh, impossible.
Preposterous.
It's kind of funny. You two are like super smart, but you didn't see even what's more telling.
Dare I say, go on.
Magna, I saw you at the bar with Bunny. At first I didn't think it was her, but then when I went inside, I saw it was the both of you having a drink. What you didn't see was Vance looking around the corner and seeing Henry and I alone together. I didn't think he could hear anything, but seeing Henry hold my hand and propose to me, I had just sent the message home that he'd never have me. Then when I went inside to the bar and I heard Rick singing, it was actually Vance's cologne that made me collapse. He used to wear it all the time in the lingerie shop, and I finally told him it made me dizzy, but not in a good way. And he looked like a wounded puppy that learned it disgusted me in every way. Oh, and it also could be that his ministry was not so secretly laundering money offshore and he was getting death threats daily. But I'm sure you figured that out all on your own. Is there anything else?
I don't believe there is.
Fantastic. Oh, what's the dove's cue?
Watch this.
Well, have you heard enough?
I think so. Time to reveal who done it.
Does this mean you finally figured out who wanted poor Vance dead badly enough to kill him with an exploding dove?
We figured it out. But we've also figured out that Vance O'Bannon wasn't supposed to go up in smoke with that well-trained explosive dove. Oh no. He was really a last-minute change of plans.
A change of plans? What does that mean? A change of plans?
I mean, fundamentally restructuring and the predetermined actions that would have been enacted if all previously agreed upon factors were still in play. However, some or all parties involved in the herefore mentioned actions have made a determination and furthermore a definitive decision to forego said actions and basically go in a different direction, with either the same, similar, or different outcome altogether. I think.
I mean, she's not wrong.
That doesn't answer Rick's question at all.
No, it doesn't, does it? So, do you all want to know who did it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
You all did it.
Oh.
But I swear I didn't do it. I would have never used Davis the Dove to hurt another human being or hurt another human being with using Davis the Dove. Either way, I'm innocent.
Summer, dear, we're not accusing you. What I meant to say was that everyone except you did it because you're the only one they all wanted to kill. The dove was, after all, meant to land on you.
Oh, good. Wait, I mean, oh, bad. Why on earth would everyone want to hurt little old me?
Well, if O'Bannon was still here, he would probably chalk it up to the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, I think I did a show with them once in Vegas.
Okay, Alistair, let's start with you. Obviously, greed was the reason for you joining this insidious scheme, since you are up to your eyeballs in gambling debt. You wanted to make sure that Summer didn't ruin Henry's wedding to Bunny and your access to the Banger money. Not to mention that you had perfect knowledge for how to mix the right amount of gunpowder to fit into a dove.
What can I say? Bye Bye Birdie was always my favorite musical.
Oh. And since you're all about keeping it in the family, that brings us to Allison and Ernest. Ernest, I can only guess that you went along with out of what? Gluttony?
No. Not enough brains.
Right. But that still doesn't absolve your girlfriend.
Save your breath, Gumshoe. I was part of it, and I admit, who else is going to get that stupid dove trained right? The ornithologist? Give me a break. Ravens are 10 times smarter than doves, so I have my work cut out for me.
Interesting, considering Bunny claims to have trained the bird herself.
But not to carry all the extra explosive in his gullet. I made that happen. What can I say? I'm a bird whisperer.
But why did you want to get involved in the first place?
I don't know, because it's Friday.
We'll just mark that down as sloth. Now, who here could have convinced the Crowleys to become part of such a diabolical plot to begin with? Maybe someone who was not only a step member of the family, but also an expert on bird behavior.
You're not talking about me, are you?
And people call me the detective? Yes, Henry, we're talking about you. You are the connection between Alistair, Allison, and the dove. We know that you supplied the dove in the first place, and it was no doubt conditioned for quite a while beforehand.
Well, even though that's all true, why would I want to hurt Summer?
Oh, for one of the oldest reasons in the world, pride. Or should I say wounded pride?
That's funny. Not too long ago, he told me that he wasn't too proud to beg.
No doubt. But one person that was too proud to beg was the dearly departed Vance O'Bannon. Oh, his lust for you was the reason that he essentially blackmailed Rick Carlisle into getting him hired as the minister for this wedding. However, once on board, he kept making a drunken fool of himself chasing after you. So he joined the others in planning your murder since he didn't want his disgraceful behavior to get back to his parishioners.
Finally, someone sees that pious prick for the dirty, backstabbing, money-grubbing riffraff that he really was.
Oh, it's been rough living in his shadow all this time, hasn't it, Rick?
You don't know the half of it.
Oh, it made you madder than hell, didn't it?
Damn right it did.
I'm sure wrath was a great motivator for training your vocal cords to hit a special pitch that would direct a dove, weighted down with explosives, to fly and land on the nearest person, especially if it happened to be a televangelist that had ruined your career and owed you a ton of back pay.
And since you thought Vance was in a conspiracy with Summer and Summer was standing right next to Vance at the rehearsal, you could literally kill two stones with one bird.
I think you have that backwards.
Semantics.
Exactly. The hardest part was finding a pitch that sounded just like Vance's speaking voice. You really have to bring it up from the time. Shit. I just incriminated myself, didn't I?
No more than usual. Now let's look at our ringleader in all this. Someone that prides herself on being in control at all times. Someone that for some reason lost control of not only her wayward fiancé, but also her supposedly well-trained bird. And now it looks like she's completely lost all control of her own conspiracy. Maybe it all gets screwed up because it's hard to keep your eyes on the prize when you're being controlled by a green-eyed monster called envy. Bunny, do you want to add anything to this group confession?
Not really, except I didn't do it.
Oh my!
It wasn't
Anyone
me.
said it. I know
had
for
no
a
One who
fact
paid for
you
all
are
of
the
it.
one who constructed this entire plan, and you are the one
Excuse me?
to gain the most.
Everybody shut up! Honey, did you really try to get everyone here to kill me?
Of course not, Summer. I'm your best friend. Why would I want to kill you?
Maybe it's like the detective lady said. Maybe you're just that envious of me.
Of all the stupidest things I've ever heard you say, that has to be the stupidest.
I'm not stupid, Bunny. Just naive. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent so much time being good to someone who hates my guts.
Good to me? Good to me? All that you have ever been to me is a royal pain in the ass. I got everything that you do in spades, and what I don't have, I have more than enough money to buy. But somehow, some way, you still get all the attention. I should be the center of attention every single second of every day, but wherever I go, it's always summer this or summer that. I might be the only person that says it, but we're all thinking it. When the hell is summer going to end?
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You just wanted summer to end.
And a little attention. Is that so much to ask?
So you admit it?
Fine. That's right. My only regret on this damn cruise is that I didn't kill Summer.
Anyone else have any regrets while they're at it?
I mean, if we're being honest, I kind of regret not killing Summer either. Right, Bun Bun?
That's right, Pookie.
Well, first, I regret not sinking this good-for-nothing love boat for not appreciating Rick Carlisle, superstar. Oh, and, not killing Summer. At least I got Vance out of the way.
My only regret is not having the chance to regale the onboard passengers with a macabre tale of murder. Oh, wait, that happened. I suppose I wish I'd been able to kill Summer.
Anyone else?
Obviously, I regret not killing Summer. Ernie?
No brains.
Agreed. Just for sport, then.
Kill Summer.
Anything you want to add, Summer?
Killed Summer too! Wait, what?
On the Deep Blue Sea, It's Really More of a Bay by Brian Maynard and Michael Williams. The cast in alphabetical order. Vance O'Bannon, played by Rick Evans. Ernest, played by Connor Farrell. Max Chastain, played by Ty Fisher. Henry Bowers, played by Reed Halverson. Alistair Crowley, played by Brian Maynard. Rick Carlisle, played by Michael Robbie. Allison Crowley, played by Cassie Randall. Summer, played by Helen Rios. Bonnie Lee Banger, played by Renata Smith. Magda Chastain, played by Christine Weems. And PA announcer, voiced by John Paul Stevenson. Directed by Christine Weems. Stage managed by Josh Baker. The character of Ernest used with permission by Ben Ploffer. Music by Sandra Peck Ramsey. Capers logo by L. Robert Westeen. This production is made possible by the Let Creativity Happen digital grant, funded by the Houston Arts Alliance and the Houston Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. If you enjoyed the show, please tell your friends. If you really loved us, please consider making a tax-deductible donation to Cone Man Running Production. Information to donate can be found on our website at conemanrunning.com. A Cone Man Running Production.